Hi everyone, Melissa here, and I am delighted to share with you my Mama Has ME CFS. I've just pulled it out of the box, um, and I'm just absolutely thrilled. I thought my Mama Has Fibromyalgia was special to me, but this is something else. I am a little bit overwhelmed. It is so exciting because ME/CFS really impacts your life. Like fibromyalgia really impacts your life. Both of them together really impact your life. So to be able to share the experience with your people, particularly your children, is just something really special. Like it is a tiny bit of a relief of a burden because they can see it, but being able to connect with them and kind of explain it a little bit to them gives you that little bit of understanding, which is incredible. But it gives them just some comfort in knowing what is actually going on, and that it might be a dreadful condition, but Mama is okay. And there's lots of good things that she can do to look after herself, or if it's Dada can do to look after himself, and just the whole goss. So this is really exciting. This is these are the first physical copies, so they're still kind of proof. They're not the absolute final one that is uploaded ready to be sold. But I am so happy with how it's come out. This is the soft cover. And I'll give you a little glimpse. It's really a learning book, so I wanted to really take the time to explain some of the vocabulary. So obviously right off the bat we talk about myalgic encephalomyelitis and break it down into easier parts to say. This book is written from the point of view of my son Nate, so it's my third book, so it's my third son, just to make it personal for the children. So it is obviously my experience, but it also includes generalities. But it makes it very clear what is ME/CFS. It includes being very tired, but it is not just tired. We talk about the battery analogy. We talk about the other symptoms, and we talk about whether ME/CFS is mild, moderate, or severe. We talk about how you get diagnosed and the important treatments. So we talk about pacing and rest and help, and the list of great things that we can do, what it means when Mama has a flare-up. But even if Mama has a flare-up, even if Mama is not well, the underlying message is that Mama loves her children, like no matter what. So yeah, it's really exciting to be able to see this and to share this message with people, because it doesn't explain it, right? Like when you say ME/CFS and it means chronic fatigue, and it's like, that sounds so tidy and not at all what it really is like, and there is so much more to it. So it's nice to be able to share the extent of it, honestly and openly, because what I found is, as my oldest particularly gets older, he has more questions and he appreciates a little bit of detail. And so it really does depend on their age, but I mean, this is just a beautiful book. This is the hardcover, which it will only be available through Lulu. Now, I have to point out the thank you page. Thank you, Luke, for helping my visions become reality and for being my first and biggest supporter in all things. I would not have any book at all. I would not be holding this book in my hand, which is making me a little bit like emotional. I wouldn't have written any other book. My Mama Has Chronic Pain, My Mama Has Fibromyalgia, Melissa versus Fibromyalgia, Pregnancy and Fibromyalgia. I would have done none of it without Luke. So my very first book was Pregnancy and Fibromyalgia, and it was essentially a compilation of blog posts that I had written, and I'd added a few extra ones in. I was only able to put that book out with Luke's help. Like, he had to edit and format and make the cover because I couldn't sit on the computer long enough to do hardly anything at that point in time. And as it's gone on, I've taken on more of the process. But I'm a writer in my heart. Like at the end of the day, all of these pretty imagery is Luke's work, and he has been there with me this whole time, and yeah, he's just been my person as much as I've been his person. So the hardcover book is just the same in terms of content. It just feels a little bit more substantial to hold a hardcover book in your hands. I'm just trying to choose another page to show you, but the point of it all is to create awareness in our homes. I want us to have some understanding and awareness and compassion. And I want us to raise a generation of advocates. This is where this came from, right? My kids were seeing my experience. They were seeing what was going on. They didn't really have any answers. And off the top of your head, it's really hard to connect and give answers in simplified terms. And so being able to kind of sit down and share it in book form is really nice. I found that when we got the first copy of my first kids book, My Mama Has Fibromyalgia, that first time sitting down and reading it together and hearing my eldest son read it to us, he's 10 now, hearing him read it to us in his words was really special. And it has generated some questions, and I've heard them kind of talk back and forth to each other about things, and I love giving them the knowledge that ability and being able is a spectrum, and that not everybody can do the same thing, and that we need to give grace to everyone because we don't know what they're dealing with. But it was really cool because one of the earliest versions of My Mama Has Fibromyalgia, Noah read the whole thing and he said, I can't believe you have all these symptoms, this condition, and us children and the house and work. And he said, I think you're really brave, which actually ended up in the final version of the book. And that was special. Like, it takes years and years to be diagnosed with these conditions, and even once you're diagnosed, you are still more likely to be gaslit and dismissed and not taken seriously than you are to receive adequate understanding or even treatment. So anywhere you can create understanding is a very special thing. So anyway, My Mama Has ME CFS is available now for you to purchase, which I'm really excited. It is the set of 3. So it's the final in my My Mama series. So they kind of go together, but obviously you don't need to read them all. So My Mama Has ME CFS, My Mama Has Fibromyalgia, and My Mama Has Chronic Pain. Let's create a generation of advocates. Let's get some understanding going. And yeah, thanks for being here on the journey with me. It's very exciting.